Hello, and welcome back to Film Posers, where today we are going to be talking about The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. So, first off, we would like to thank Warner Brothers for the invitation to our advanced screening, where we got the chance to witness one of perhaps the craziest films that will be released this year, The Suicide Squad. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this is going to be a spoiler free review. We're not going to get into details because this is a film that you need to see right away. And if you don't see it right away, stay off of social media, mute every word you can on Twitter because the spoilers will leak. And there is a lot to discuss with this film. There are a lot of important details. We're just going to get right into our review. This is, of course, the newest version of the Suicide Squad from the previous version that was released by Warner Brothers. This is a fresher take. This is an R-rated version. This is a heavy R. There is lots of violence. And quite frankly, this is not exactly a kid's film. So I wouldn't take your kids to this.
No.
It's hard to justify that. But anyways, Suicide Squad, new director, new lens, new vision, and quite frankly, it delivered. I enjoyed it. I was not expecting it to like it that much, but yet here I am. I'm loving it. I got the new shirt from Hot Topic. I was here for it. I was surprised by a lot of the choices made. I knew James Gunn was going to go far with this film, but not that far. The biggest mistake I feel with this film is releasing it on HBO Max because this should have been theaters only due to the amount of surprises you get, due to the amount of spoilers that can be released online very quickly, due to that digital component, and the fact that this is a film that is made to be seen on the big screen. This has the energy of the action blockbusters that we used to get in theaters, pre-pandemic. So I'm gonna switch off to Gabriela for her to start off with her review. Go ahead.
Yeah, so going into this, I really was not like the Suicide Squad really wasn't on my radar for films that I was anticipating this year, just because I really not that big of a fan of James Gunn. Most people love Guardians of the Galaxy, and those are my least favorite Marvel movies ever. So, not it's not his style really isn't my thing. Like it's nothing against him. His style really I'm not a big fan. So I really went into this with no expectations. I was just like, you know, let's just see what it is. It is what it is. And I was really pleasantly surprised. Like in terms of, the directing was really cool. The humor specifically was on point. Again, it's a movie about anti-heroes, and I love how this film embraces that. It's not afraid to go far because we're not dealing with superheroes. We're dealing with anti-heroes that they are supposed to do things that make you question your morality because technically you're not supposed to be rooting for them, but you do. And so making this movie R-rated is the best decision that they could have made because it stays with the source material. It encaptures it very well. And yeah, I thought the cast was great. The character interactions were great. It was truly a really fun movie. I was surprised at how violent it was. I was not expecting it to be that violent, but I had fun. The visual effect, especially when Starro, that's not a spoiler, he's on the trailer. When Starro makes his big appearance, he like that monster design was on point. He was great. And yeah, it's truly a fun film, but again, it's not for kids. It's like hard R for adults. Like do not do not make kids take your kids to watch this. Like it's really not for children. But yeah, I really liked it. I was very pleasantly surprised by it. So yeah, like I think I finally found a James Gunn movie that I like.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about the characters, what I liked about what James Gunn did here is that he gave every character their moment to shine.
Mm-hmm. It was a good
And
balance.
it was a really good balance. Yeah. And I think specifically when it came to Harley Quinn and King Shark, He had a very good handle on those characters. Even Peacemaker, I thought he did a very good job with. And quite honestly, he understands the property very well. So if
Yeah.
they make another film with him, which one never knows with this sake, he would be a good option to keep.
Yeah, for sure. I think he has in mind what the Suicide Squad is. Like he truly understands the source material, so he clearly was like the right person to, take this property and make it, because obviously it's loyal to the original source, but he also gives it his own voice.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think it was a good balance between following the original source material and also like James Gunn adding his own twist to it.
When I heard that the second Suicide Squad movie was coming out, I definitely wasn't expecting a lot with it. It has some issues that a lot of people already know about. So when the announcement for the second one came out, I was like, I wasn't paying that much attention until I saw this one. And honestly, I was so surprised. It was such a delightful surprise to see this one. I loved it. I wasn't expecting that I would like it that much. It is a very action packed film. The jokes were really clever and witty. The cast was such a chaotic ensemble. I wish that some of them had more screen time. Now, I really like how in this movie they really knew how to use their R rated, because the violence was there, the gore was definitely there, and you know what? It was rightfully so.
It was a Suicide Squad movie. Like it,
Yeah,
it was. It's like the chaos we envision when you think about the Suicide Squad.
It's an
exactly.
exact representation of the comics, which is
Yeah.
what the fans have been asking for.
The violence was definitely justified because it is Suicide Squad. I liked James Gunn's vision. He really put all his passion to this one. And it's definitely a step up from the first one. Definitely. Like 10 times better, I
Oh
feel.
yeah.
I love, there were obviously some characters do shine from the other ones, but at the end, you care for them. Some of them have just a peculiar story to them that, you know what, I can look at it, like, it touches your heart.
I also really liked how fast paced it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because since, a lot of people already know what the Suicide Squad is, the film just jumps right to it. It doesn't dedicate the time to explain everything because, the most of the audience already know what it is. And even if you don't know what the Suicide Squad is, you will understand it because they do like explain it, but it's not that they dedicate, this amount of a lot of time to exposition. Like the film just jumps straight to it, which I really liked.
Yeah,
Because,
I wasn't expecting that it would jump right through it.
yeah,
And, like in the first act, bam,
Yeah.
5 minutes
yeah.
into the movie, there's already an action scene.
But I really liked it. Like I like how it just let's just go. Like we're here for the chaos. Let's just start the chaos from like minute one.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were so creative with the action and the title cards.
Yeah.
There were some, witty moments when it comes to the conversations that, it gets you going.
Also, when it comes to starting the film right away, I also like that you don't necessarily have to see the previous film to understand this film, because they give you a quick summary, they give you what you need to know so that you can enjoy the ride fully without having to feel like you need to know everything that happened in the past film to understand this. This is a standalone film that could set up a bunch of other properties if it wanted to. And quite frankly, it does a really good job at entertaining its audience.
Yeah. Like it's really a fun film. Like I really wasn't bored at any moment of it because even
Oh.
when there are no action scenes, the character interactions are always so much fun because they're always, trying to be like, okay, who's tougher than who, especially with Idris Elba and John Cena. They're playing that game of I'm tougher than you, no, I'm tougher than you. So it's kind of like a running joke throughout the film, which it was funny. And King Shark, whom I kept calling Baby Shark because he's baby.
He's a
Yeah,
child.
he's a child.
Baby. Like I know it's King Shark, but I just kept calling him Baby Shark because he was so pure.
He was great, honestly, and I couldn't believe that it was Sylvester Stallone doing the voice. He has
No
what
idea.
I feel the Groot impact, in the sense of you don't expect it to be that person doing the voice, but they do such a good job that you're like, I need more.
Yeah. Yeah, King Baby Shark. Okay, King Shark was one of my favorite
And we even got wholesome moments in this movie. Like we got a little bit
characters.
of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, I love how I have this thing where every time I see Nathan Fillion in anything, I have to like do an announcer voice with Nathan Fillion, and he appears, and I didn't do the announcer voice, and I was like, you didn't do the voice, so I had to do it. So that was just something very funny because I love Nathan Fillion. I love seeing him, and he was great in this too. So
Also, thank you, James Gunn, for using Viola Davis properly in a Suicide
thank
Squad film.
yes, thank
I
God.
felt her character here was very realized, very well realized, because in the last one, you don't really get to see how important her character is. But Amanda Waller has a lot of power, and you feel it within this film. Plus,
Yeah.
Viola Davis is a top tier actress, so she knows what she's doing. She knows the energy she has to bring, and she delivers it. And I love that in this film.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
couldn't take my eyes off the film every time she showed up. She was just fantastic.
She was great.
She has that Oscar for a reason. You know what? She does.
Yeah, like how the heck do you hire an actress like Viola Davis and not use her to her fullest potential? Like,
Exactly. And here, I definitely feel she got to let loose a little bit more,
yeah.
which I
And
love.
also another character that I really appreciated that he was developed so much better than in the first one was Rick Flag.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
liked what they did with his character in this film. Because in the first one he felt very stereotypical. Like he was just there and
Yeah.
he was the leader and everyone had to follow orders and like that was it. But here he has a lot more depth. And I really like how they used him in this film.
And we also get some character development, big character development with Idris Elba's character.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Great.
He
I
was
loved it.
I loved him in this movie.
Idris Elba, again, another actor that's always great. You know, he
Yeah.
always understands the assignment.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone understood the assignment in this movie.
Yeah,
It
like,
looked like it was fun to make, quite frankly.
yeah, like they said, bring the chaos, and they all brought the chaos.
Very much our brand, actually. Which, if you made it this far into our review, you can tell that there was a lot to discuss with this film. So, Suicide Squad here is Film Posers recommended, very much Film Posers approved. And I think it's clear to say you have to watch this right away if you're interested. You can't wait for this because then you're going to have to be off social media for a while until you see it. There's a lot to spoil, there's a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
And
It's a very shocking and unexpected film. You think it's gonna go in one direction and then it doesn't. So be wary of spoilers.
And also, there is an ending credit scene.
Yeah.
stay all the way through the
for that.
credits.
Yeah.
All the way through.
It's an important one.
You're not going to want to miss it. Trust me.
Yeah,
great.
it's an important one considering a certain announcement that HBO Max made. So this post-credit scene ties in with that. So be wary of that.
And with that, we wrap up our Suicide Squad review. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to check out the Suicide Squad. As of August 5th, as of 7 p.m., it is available on HBO Max. And you can check out to see if your local theater already has its tickets up. Caribbean Cinemas already does. So purchase your tickets now. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, we're all film posers. Bye.
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 Bye.